LA-based makeup artist Brett Friedman here to give you my tips and insights on my new kit staple L.A.B.2 brushes. L.A.B.2 I'm Turning Pro Kit. Everything you need to do your entire face in 4 brushes. The first is a foundation brush, which I'm actually also going to use as concealer. The next is a buffing brush. This is going to set the powder and then also do a little bit of highlighting. The third is the contour brush. So this is going to hollow out the cheekbones, accentuate the jawline, and I'm going to use it also for a little bit of blush. The fourth is an eyeshadow brush, which I'm going to use to accentuate the crease and give eyes ultimate enhancement. So first up is the foundation brush. And what I love about the size of this brush is that it's compact enough to actually use around the eye area. So I'm going to show you how to use it with concealer. But first, we're going to apply our foundation all over. As a pro, I always use a foundation brush to apply base. Why? You end up using less product using a brush, and you have ultimate control. In the I'm Turning Pro kit, the foundation brush I actually use for concealer also. But here's my little insider tip. Take a touch of the foundation, look straight up, and apply all around the eye, the lash line, the lid, up into the brow bone. That veil of coverage will disguise some imperfections much more than you would think, and then you'll use less of a fuller formula concealer, which then we're going to put right here and right here. As you see, I'm not putting concealer everywhere. I'm really just putting it in this deepest recessed part on the inner eye and then fanning it outward. The second brush is the buffing brush, and I use this to set makeup. And what's great is, much like the kabuki brush, it's dense and rounded and compact. So there's little to no flyaway, and you can really kind of use the powder brush as a puff. Again, sort of pressing the powder in. Generally around the eyes, I'll just use what's left on the powder brush after I do the whole face. I like to do this sort of rolling motion with the side of the brush. And what that does is, after we've set the powder and set the foundation on the entire face, the little that's left will just sort of set what's underneath without adding a lot of extra product. And as you see, flawless finish. So the third brush in the I'm Turning Pro kit is a contour brush. I actually use this for blush also. So if you're going to use it for blush and contour, do your blush first. That way, like my little system of using everything lightest to darkest, works perfectly. So give your skin a little bit of a lift with a sort of a neutral, sweet-colored blush, just from the apples of the cheek up to the temple. And I'm using sort of a dot and swirl technique to bring out that sort of rosy glow look. So now I'm going to use this contour brush for what it was actually made for, contouring. I cheated a little bit by doing a blusher. See this angled, rounded shape? It's perfect to take a fleshier, deeper blush in a matte, just right under the cheekbone using this dabbing technique. The brush does all the work for you. The shape nestles perfectly under the cheekbone to sculpt it out to give that sleeker supermodel precision. And then take the side to sort of burnish and marry the contouring to the sweet sort of blush that goes on top of the cheekbone. So now we're going to talk about the I'm Turning Pro eyeshadow brush. A universally flattering look on eyes is a very prominent lid, and how you get the prominent lid is by darkening the crease. So you're going to stick your chin all the way out, and you want to just nestle the brush right into that little crease. And when you press in very gently, you can see where the bone and the eyelid start. What you want to do is get right in that crease and use a windshield wiper technique. And that's kind of going back and forth and dot and dashing till you get a little bit of a recession there. So when the eyes open, You see the lid pops and the brow bone pops because they're a shade lighter. And you have such control with the FiberLux technology, I can actually use this brush as an eyeliner brush. And how I'm doing that is taking a little bit of that deeper neutral powder we did in the crease and dashing it on the lower lash line. Here's an insider tip. Use your eyeshadow brush damp. Mist it with a little bit of water, dab into your matte, neutral eyeshadow, and use it right at the lash line. What's really great about this technique is it gives that sort of shadow of definition. It's not a hard line, and it gives eyes vividness without overemphasizing or being overly dramatic.